Political analyst Peter Wickham believes Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Denzil Douglas will survive the lawsuit filed against him by MSR Media. The lawsuit by MSR Media names Dr. Douglas and former Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris, among others, alleging impropriety in the country's Citizenship by Investment program, the CBI. Dr. Douglas has denied any wrongdoing and vowed he would be vindicated in court. For Mr. Wickham, Dr. Douglas is an astute politician who has survived challenges in the past. This, according to Wickham, is no different.
And I would say to anyone who is concerned about this most recent controversy, it's not the first time. I think that the mess that was created when citizenship was being sold externally in the case of St. Kitts and Nevis under the old scheme, where persons were walking into an embassy and walking out with citizenship. I think that had the potential to be a lot more damaging, and Dr. Douglas rose above that as well. Dr. Douglas took a passport from Dominica, and up to now he hasn't explained, why he would have done something like that, where he knows full well that you can't have another citizenship in the case of St. Kitts. He resigned from Parliament, or he was forced to resign from Parliament. He contested the seat again, and he won. I mean, look, that to me speaks volumes about the extent to which any of these things are going to damage Dr. Douglas. If you love Dr. Douglas, then you will continue to love him. And to some extent, he's like Donald Trump. There are people who love him, there are people who hate him, but ultimately, I don't know that by saying that this is another dent in his armor, it's going to affect his popularity significantly. So I believe if you poll him today, he'll be as popular as he was yesterday.
Mr. Wickham believes the Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, does not have to take any action at this time, as he believes when all is said and done, Dr. Douglas will remain unscathed.
Well, I think that Dr. Drew is in a comfortable position where he doesn't have to do anything because he's Prime Minister and will probably remain Prime Minister for a while to come. I don't really know that he needs to see Dr. Douglas as a threat that he needs to dislodge. If I were him, I would just let him rest and see how it goes. And I made that comparison because I look at the Antigua and Barbuda situation where, and I'm not suggesting that the Asset Michael and Dr. Douglas have anything in common, but you have an individual like Asset Michael who is a very colorful politician and also a very popular politician. One could argue that Prime Minister Brown was well advised to leave Asset Michael alone as a member of Parliament and not bother him, because ultimately he can be a lot more dangerous to you if he's not there. What essentially Prime Minister Brown decided is that he was going to cut him loose and he was going to take him on full frontal. He almost lost the government as a result of it. So my sense is that Dr. Drew can learn from those mistakes. And my thing is, if Dr. Douglas is willing to be a member of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, or indeed if he's not even a member of the government, he's a member of Parliament and he's happy with that, then I would say just leave him. There are bigger fish to fry, and more important fish to fry. And I think that you should say grill, because these days grilled fish is probably more healthy. And if I were Dr. Drew, I would just continue grilling the fish that I have there, and I would let Dr. Douglas relax.
Prime Minister Drew was asked recently during an interview on Freedom FM his position on the lawsuit against Dr. Douglas. This was his reply.
The government is standing by Dr. Douglas.
I am because the government is simply saying that we are going to stand on the side of justice. If somebody makes an accusation, for example, correct? Mm-hmm. One then has to look at the veracity of that accusation. And everybody must be given the opportunity. Mm-hmm. And that is what we are saying.
Okay. Wickham previously claimed that he does not expect any negative impact politically against any of the current and former officials named in the lawsuit. MSR Media has filed 2 lawsuits, one suing former government officials in relation to alleged mismanagement of the CBI program, and another suing the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, compelling it to revoke passports of economic citizens who may have paid below the legally stipulated fees to acquire citizenship. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.